Okay, so here we are once again. Welcome back. This is part two of our prior conversation about some of the issues, some of the ways in which we behave towards our loved ones, extended family members, and in our larger communities, and how those behaviors and interactions create disharmony, lack of peace within our interactions with others. By extension, if one is having disharmonious relationships with their family members or loved ones, that means that within ourselves as individuals, uh, there's a lack of peace. So it is not the external catalyst, person, or situation that is lacking in peace. It is that we have to find peace. And then when we approach various life issues, we come from a place of peace in order to find solutions. That was a pathway that was taught and nurtured by our ancient ancestors in Al-Kebulan, the place we call Africa today. We need to understand that the keys still exist and that we have the capacity to utilize those very keys today. Spirit, mind, and body is how we were created. And when we are spiritually balanced, then our mind is balanced. And then we approach our body, our own personal health, but also the world from a place of balance. Therefore, one of the things that we have to understand is that we were created as human beings. And that as human beings, we are flawed. Meaning that if we didn't have flaws, if we didn't have challenges, if we didn't have quirks, if we didn't have some vices or, obstructions within our psyche and our consciousness to work upon, then what would be the point? You're born perfect in the world. There's nothing to work for, towards. There's nothing to change. Everything is indelibly perfect. What that means is that we would be living a life in which everything we want is already prepared. What would be the point? So, as human beings, I see that we were created with these glitches and challenges and, bumps and dents, so that we could strive to become better beings, that we could strive, we should strive, we can strive to become whole and to live a more balanced life. Balancing your life means that you ultimately will be more harmonious and more peaceful within yourself and with others. So that's one of the first things we have to accept. It's not a tolerance, it's an acceptance. You also, all of us, need to accept the fact that we are capable of change. The truth is that in life, there's only one constant, and that one constant is change. The minute we are unable to change some part of us, whether in our spirits or our minds, or even our bodies, something is going to get disjointed. Okay? If we don't exercise, let's take that as an example. If we don't exercise and, keep the body in a healthy manner, then we become overweight. And at some point, our bones cannot support our structure and they break. Or we end up with other ailments in our organs, heart attacks, so forth, because we are not taking care of this amazing thing called a body that we were given to live in while we are in this world. The other part is to recognize that a lot of the things that we do on a daily basis, how we speak, how we function with each other, happens on two fronts. One is that when we come into the world, we come in with our own nature. Part of our nature is also some of the mental, emotional, physical, let's just say tendencies that we inherit from our family, our family lines. Like you're born and you have features where you look like your grandmother, your great grandmother. You have certain habits, maybe you scratch your throat every morning, which is something that you inherit from, your parents. I scratch my throat a lot of times when I eat too late or I'm not feeling well, just like my father did. So we all have some a nature that we come into the world with, but then we also have what is called nurture. So we live in two realities, and that is those composite makes us the personality that we are. Okay? It is also certain habits, there's certain habits that we pick up from mother, father, the nuclear family structure, grandmother, those who are around us, who are raising us, as we say. That is our environment. Our culture is a part of our environment in terms of the larger society and the norms that are created within it. So this nature-nurture construct is what really helps us to grow into who we are. And then, of course, there's your divine essence, meaning that divine essence, along with nature and along with nurturance, makes each and every one of us, the billions of us in this planet, makes every one of us a unique being. No two people are alike, not even identical twins. So those are some of the things that we need to accept, and those are some of the things that once we have that foundation clear, then we're able to begin to chart a course. There's some other things, ingredients in there, but I'm expressing the basic underlying constructs that is common to all of us. So if you're finding yourself challenged as you're moving in your life, with hurt feelings and emotions, you can learn to do some self-support, okay? With your spouse or your family, your loved ones. So here are some possible solutions, okay? Number one, when you are with a person who's being disrespectful or verbally uncaring, you can excuse yourself and take a walk. No, it doesn't mean that you're a wuss or a punk or you're a coward. That is a moment that really shows you that you are moving from a position of strength. Meaning, when we can restrain ourselves from negativizing ourselves and getting engaged in inappropriate behavior, that's not weakness. That is great strength. So you can take a walk away, calm down, and then return to the situation, especially if it is an important matter, okay? Return to it at a better time where both you and the other party are calmer. Number two, set a regular time in your schedule with each other to spend time together. That nurtures greater caring. You do that, talk about your issues and your challenges and solve them together. Not you come up with an answer, implement the answer. The other person comes up with an answer and implement what they want. That's not a respectful way. Respect means you're willing to take into account the other person's thoughts, their feelings, with respect to whatever it is that you have to solve, because you're living together. It's not one person living and making all the decisions. It's both parties that have to make the decision. And that is how we learn to respect each other. Okay? Don't generalize when you are talking. We're still on number 2. Do not generalize when you're talking. Stay specific. Stay on the situation. Don't go back and talk about what happened 6 months ago. Address the matter that is in front of you, especially if the person only did whatever is happening, whatever the whatever the moment, whatever the issue is, it's only happened once or twice in your long-standing relationship. Don't use the word you always. No, once or twice is not always. So don't generalize, okay? Don't exaggerate. So then the other thing is admit your error. Admit your error. Admit your flaw. Don't minimize what you did that was uncaring. Admitting your flaw is not a sign of weakness. Again, a strong person can admit their flaw and make amends to correct it. Meditation, number 4, is a great modality, a skill to be developed that can help you diffuse and remove scarring from your mind or psyche. Meditation on which or meditation on the things that you see as being harmful to you can be extremely helpful. Okay, take the time to learn. Number 5, take the time to learn simple deep breathing, which it really tends to calm your mind, your rushing thoughts, and your spontaneous heated feelings in the moment when you're trying to solve challenges or issues. Daily practice of this one thing can help you gain greater calm or peace when seeking to solve your life issues. And at some point, maybe in the next conversation we have, I will go through some guided imagery, some wisdom thoughts that you can develop in order to help yourself become a better person in your interaction with your loved ones. Remember that you, number 6, remember that you're created with free will, a child of the divine, capable of rational, respectful, kind, and caring expressions towards your fellow man, be it your husband, your wife, your children, your extended family members, your co-workers, the larger community. If we take on some of these constructs, these habits, these ways of being, then individually and collectively, we can create a better path to a harmonious life. And harmony and peace can now become our way of life. Thanks for listening.